Hi, it's James Shippey, breaking news anchor with KOIN 6 in Portland, CW. This is our pre-holiday show. This is going to be airing a few days before Christmas, and I'm really excited for the guest I have today joining me, Melanie Maceris. Am I pronouncing that right?
You got it. Yes, you got it. Hello.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, so I got Melanie Maceris with me from the Oregon Lottery. We kind of go a little way back, at least for me, because I remember I used to reach out to you when I used to work at KXL for some, kind of lottery stories over there at the
Ah,
radio station.
love it. Yes,
Yeah,
we love to talk about lottery stories. So we've had
exactly.
some big ones recently.
You
Yes.
sure have, and I definitely want to get into that very shortly. And look, this is the holiday time. I mean, a lot of folks are, hoping to, outside of inflation and all these other things and buying gifts, people are hoping to maybe, hit it big, in the year right, whatever that may mean for them. But how big of a deal is it for Oregon Lottery? Is you got some folks playing certain games, trying to get in and see if they can win something as the year closes out?
Well, we always see our holiday scratchets are a huge popular thing this time of year. People love to give them as stocking stuffers and gift tags. It's an easy thing, to tuck into a card for somebody. And they're available all over the state at our retailers, so they're pretty easy to find. So that makes them what we say, one size fits all gift. You don't have to worry about what color or size you're buying. And they make a great gift. One thing I do want to mention is we really want to make sure people are giving these gifts to adults. They're 18 plus gifts, and just keep that in mind when you're looking to buy holiday scratchets for anybody. I mean, they're also great gifts for like your neighbor, your coworker, just a little something extra that to brighten somebody's day. And as you mentioned, they always come with that excitement of possibility of winning a really big prize. So about 25% of all the scratchets we sell throughout the year are sold over the holidays. So that gives you an idea of just how popular these are. I mean, this is a really prime time for scratchet sales for us. This year we have five different scratchets: a $2, a $5, a $10, a 20, and the $30. The $30 scratchet is our most popular one. It's our bestseller right now across all scratchets, like not just the holiday ones. And we actually saw that last year. We introduced a $30 scratchet last year, and it continues to be one of our best-selling games. I think that's one thing we're seeing in terms of trends is that people are buying more expensive lottery scratchets versus the lower price points. And in fact, this year we did not do a $1 holiday scratchet because of that.
Well, and you mentioned this. What would you say to people, let's say someone like myself, because I don't do scratchets, but I know people that do. I think my mom probably does them. It's something. Certain people I feel like they're very traditional. Like they might go to the gas station or the 7-Eleven, and while they're getting something else or paying for gas, oh, let me get a couple of scratchets here. What advice do you have for people that may not be used to playing them and kind of maybe debunking, how it could be some good adult centered fun, 18 and up, of course.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think our top prize on the $30 one is $200,000. So, I mean, who wouldn't like to win that kind of money?
Yeah, I
The other
think.
thing I wanted to talk about is if you do get a ticket that it just turns out you didn't get a big prize. We have something called second chance. I'm not sure if everybody knows about this, but basically what you do is you can mail in your ticket, non-winning ticket, and try and get a second chance prize. And those prizes are actually worth, for each game, the prize would be worth what the top prize is for the scratch it. And so we encourage people to, again, go for that second chance. What a fun surprise if you learn in April when we do the second chance drawing that you won. You could win a good chunk of money doing that. So it's definitely, I think, adds to the fun, even if you have a non-winning ticket on the day you scratch it.
So it's almost like you're never really out of it. There's always a
Right,
chance, right?
right, right.
uh, and for you, quickly, because I didn't go into this, what brought you to the Oregon Lottery? Like, how long have you been in it? And I mean, how has it been for you? Has it been what you've expected after joining it as a communications manager?
Yeah, I actually have been doing media relations for a while and worked previously at the state with other agencies. And when I had the opportunity to come to the lottery, it was a great chance to get to talk about something a little lighter, a little more fun than some of the other subject matters that I've dealt with in the past. So it's been a really fun ride. I've been here a little over 3 years, and as you may know, last year we had a man in Portland win the $1.3 billion Powerball jackpot. This has only happened in a handful of states, right, that have ever had a win that size. And so it's was really exciting and an extraordinary thing to get to be a part of, to have someone win a prize of that magnitude in Oregon. I think a lot of folks, I will also just say there's a misconception. Oh, nobody ever wins. No one wins those big prizes here. And we certainly had someone win a giant prize here.
Yes, and that's a great segue. And now I see this is you in this photo here. You're
Yeah.
smiling just as big as the winner there. Now, tell me about this winner because this is definitely something I wanted to. Because when you see someone win a Powerball like this, how excited are you for people like this? Like, can you kind of take folks into the, I don't know, the background there of like someone finding out they're the winner, meeting them, doing kind of the big presentation? Because a lot of folks won't get the opportunity to do this, but it's good for them to give us a little inside
Yeah.
baseball on this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a life-changing prize. And in this case, if you remember, our winner was Charlie Safon. He split the prize with his wife and a friend. And I actually did catch up with him on the year anniversary earlier this year. It was in April, to kind of see how he's doing and what's happened since then. If you remember, he announced when he won the prize that he was dealing with cancer, and he had a cancer diagnosis that he was fighting, and he continues to still be challenged with that health issue. And so, we've I would say, like, one of the things that was so heartwarming about his story was he was very open about his health and what this money would mean for his family, and that he did not need to worry about the future of them being financially stable now that they have this money. So I've definitely, we kept in touch with him at those of us here at the lottery have kept in touch with him, and we're kind of following along in his journey. I mean, he's been so open and willing to share his story. He wanted to, very proud of his culture, and wanted to really talk about that as well. So I think it's one of those very special examples of where we had a lottery winner who was very open to talking about who they were as a person and what this was going to mean for them.
Yes, I can imagine, and I do vaguely remember of that about him. And it's funny because, like I said, you go back and you visit them a year later, but a lot of times we see these people win, we never. It's kind of out of sight, out of mind. You don't know what happens to them. You always, hear of different stories about people that win the lottery, and that's a lot of money, as you mentioned. We're talking about like
Yeah,
generational wealth.
yeah.
But what do people do, like, if they don't know how to, just because you get a lot of money and if you don't know how to manage it already doesn't mean you will all of a sudden. This is a
Well,
very
he was
interesting
very
thing.
smart. He did what we would advise folks to do, which is to get an attorney or a financial advisor who can help you. That extraordinary amount of money is not something you can just take a check and walk into your bank, and deposit. You really need to think that through and have a plan and work with an expert. And so we at the lottery would not be able to advise you. That's not part of our role. So if you did ever win a prize of that magnitude, you really need to hire someone to help you manage that part of it.
And do most people, because I know you got two options, right? You could take the lump sum, or what I guess would you call it, an annuity? What is it, like, once
Yes,
a year
there's an
payment
annuity.
payout?
Yes,
Do
yes.
you see, I would think most people would think like, just give me all the money right away. But do you
Yeah.
see, like, what's the percentage here of people to do one or the other?
I don't know what the percentage is, but I would say anecdotally what we see is I think most people just take the lump sum.
Just go ahead and take it all.
They want to have access to that money immediately. But again, that's the kind of thing where you really should talk with an expert who can advise on how to best handle that.
Definitely. A trusted financial advisor. That is great advice when you come into that kind of money.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
definitely. All right. Well, Melanie, we're going to take a quick break. But on the other side of this, I want to talk about some other big wins here in Oregon over the past, year or so. And then obviously wrap up more with more about that holiday ticket talk. So,
Sounds
on the
great.
other side of the break, let's do that. And Melanie, before the other side of break, we were talking about that huge Powerball winner that won over $1 billion pot. I remember having family members contact me like, "Hey, just making sure your number's still the same. Were you the
Yeah.
winner?" And of
Yeah.
course, I wasn't, because I would have changed my number at that
Right.
point.
You
Exactly.
might not be doing this, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing this now. But I mean, that's a big deal because a lot of states can't claim that someone to win a pot that big. But I wanted to talk about some other big wins. Recently we were just talking about during the break about this big win in Alvador, Oregon, which you said maybe I haven't heard of, but I'm not from here. But I'm wondering how many locals may have heard of this. But can you just give us a little bit more about this mega? It was a Mega Millions winner, Mega
Yes,
Bucks.
yes.
Yes.
So Mega Bucks is our Oregon game, our Oregon jackpot game. So it is a little bit better odds. I will just tell folks if you're planning to do some jackpot play, um, that game tends to have better odds than some of the national games. So we sold this $8 million ticket in at this little store in Alvador called the Alvador Gas and Store, and I had never heard of this town before. So it just goes to show you that, our games are random and we have winners everywhere. But this couple who owns the store, it's a great example of how lottery has an impact, a ripple effect in our communities. They got an $81,000 bonus check for selling the ticket. And our retailers do get bonuses when they sell jackpot games. They also get a commission just off of the games they're selling day to day. So this couple, they are going to use some of that bonus money, and it's quite a bit of money for a little store like this. They're going to do some reinvestment into their business. This is in a rural area outside of Eugene. And what they were saying was that they get a lot of folks who come through who may work in agriculture or construction type trades, and they're looking for a quick bite to eat that's like a warm, hot meal during the day. And so they want to put a deli or have a hot food bar inside this store and do some upgrades. So this is one of those great stories again. This locally owned store getting this kind of a bonus and then reinvesting it back into the community.
See, that's great to hear. And if you could tell me, man, that's great to hear, and to see the wife there was pregnant at the time,
Yeah.
so that's kind of a
Yes.
great gift before the little one arrives.
Yes.
Now some of the other people, like this gentleman, can you kind of tell me these people if you're looking on the screen here? I
Yeah.
guess the who's all in this picture? Because I see the couple that own the store, but
Yeah, the woman on the right in the red shirt, she's one of the clerks at the store, so she may have sold the ticket. She was definitely getting in on the excitement. And then the other two guys on the left side, they work for Oregon Lottery. One of them is the manager of the account. We have folks, who have relationships with all of our retailers. They're going out to our retailers and helping them set up their displays, replenish tickets, things like that. So that guy right there, he was the one who was working with this business.
that's so nice. That's so nice. So we don't see because I'm trying to think. I remember we did this story here. I don't think we have a picture of the actual winner in
No,
here,
the
right?
winner in this case didn't want to really share their story, but I think we got a great story out of this in one that we often, again, don't always hear about, which is the retailer side of things and what
I
it means for these retail folks.
I agree because, like I said, most of the time we don't get a chance. We don't think about these kind of things. We just think about the winner, and then we're on to the next thing. But to see how it can benefit store
Yeah.
owners, and that's nice because at the top of my head, I would think, when I think of a store, I think of like a big chain, and I'm not thinking about like an owner of that store, like in a more independent sense that gets access to winnings. You know.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously have larger chain stores that sell our games. But again, we have a little store in Alvador, Oregon that also got to benefit from this. So, like I said, I think we see a lot of economic benefits throughout the state from lottery sales. And if you want, I can talk a little bit about that in terms of our beneficiaries and where some of the lottery money goes.
Yeah, actually, that
I
would be
could put you
great.
on the spot, James, and quiz you and ask, and we did not practice this ahead of time. Do
Okay.
you know who any of the beneficiaries are of lottery funds?
Oh goodness, I like quizzes, but I've been up since 3 this morning. Well, within the state, I don't know. Let's say hopefully it goes to some of the kids, to the children.
Education. Yes,
Education. All
education
right,
is
there you go.
definitely one of them. Good
Yes.
job.
Thank you. Thank
We,
you.
unlike a lot of other states, Oregon has multiple beneficiaries. So there are some states, where the money just goes to education. Education is certainly gets a good amount of our funds, but we also support veteran services, economic development by way of Business Oregon. Um, we also do outdoor school. We have money that goes to supporting state parks. And finally, we do support wetland restoration and natural habitats. So we have quite a few beneficiaries in Oregon where money is from our games are supporting all these programs that Oregonians care about.
So, Melanie, we were talking about all these different Powerball winners, and you kind of have this really cool anecdote about this lady that had quite the prize and didn't even know it. It was just kind of sitting in her house somewhere. Can you just tell us more about that?
Yeah, we last year, we do our Oregon Lottery raffle every year. It starts around January and is drawn in March. And our Powerball winner that we were discussing, the $1 billion win, happened in April. Well, this person who had bought the raffle ticket in Portland had a habit of taking her tickets. She just wouldn't look at them. She would put them in a Tupperware container and stash them away in her cabinet. Well, it wasn't until she started hearing the news about this Powerball winner that she thought, oh, I better go check my tickets. Well, sure enough, when she took her stack of tickets in to scan them at her local store, she discovered one of them was the winning raffle ticket. It was worth $1 million, and it was just sitting there in her
Wow.
cabinet.
That's something.
It really is. You know what? I think the lesson here is like you should treat your tickets if you're playing lottery as if they could be winners. And don't toss them away in a coat pocket or lose them under the seat of the car or wherever things get lost in your house, make sure you know where that ticket is so that you can indeed check it later.
Wow.
Last year, we had about $8 million in unclaimed lottery prizes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just so I can clarify for folks that may not know, you say unclaimed, that means like someone won, but they either didn't know, they threw a ticket. Basically, that's what happens. Is there's money that someone
Yes.
didn't claim, literally.
Correct. That was the total amount. So it could have been some smaller prizes, of course, in there.
Of
But
course.
yes, we always have some large prizes that go unclaimed. People just maybe have misplaced the ticket or forgot to even check. They may not have even known. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there is there like is there a expiration date on that unknown ticket? Or what if I find like a ticket like, 2 years later, I'm moving into a new place and I'm like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna go scan it. How does that work?
Yes, unfortunately, you do get 1 year. That
Okay.
is, it will expire after a year. So you have a year to check your tickets. And you can check them all over the place. There's scanners in our retail stores. You can download our app and have that in your pocket on your phone and scan your tickets that way.
Okay. You're 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 casually inspiring me to go to my local just to see what'll happen. I
There
might
you
get
go.
some stocking stuffers for people, but I might get one for myself as well. Why not?
Hey, not a bad idea. Treat
It's not.
yourself.
Yeah, we got to treat ourselves, right? Instead of just getting the normal socks and ties and socks, which ties and socks come in handy when you work this kind of job because I'm wearing them all the
There
time.
you go.
So, and as we wrap this up, we had talked before. What kind of resources are out there if anyone's trying to, looking for resources when it comes to gambling or dealing with any gambling issues, things of that nature?
Yeah, we do. Oregon Lottery also funds gambling, responsible gambling resources. And so if whether it's you or whether it's a family member, who's having an issue, you're able to access those issues completely free. We have information on our website, OregonLottery.org. If you look under the responsible gambling section, you can find all the information on how to access those resources. You can also call 1-877-MY-LIMIT. That's a good place. And again, I just want to reiterate that even if you are someone affected by someone who has maybe a gambling issue, you are able to access those resources as well. It doesn't have to just be the person who is struggling.
That's good to know. Definitely. And yeah, and as we end on the note, obviously it's the holidays. And as you mentioned, you got those scratchers so people can be on the lookout.
Yeah,
I'm assuming those are already available for people
all
to
over
go
the
to
place.
stores.
Yep, they're all available at any of our 3,800 lottery retailers across the state.
All right. Well, hopefully, when someone's getting some gas to put in their car, they got an option to go ahead and grab a little something or stocking stuffer, as you mentioned. That's kind of a nice, unique little stuffer folks
Yep.
can include for any friends or family that they got that they want to give to.
Yes. Good
Yes.
luck to everybody out there playing.
Yes, thank you. I'm sure they'll love to hear that. So, well, thank you again for joining me, Melanie. And I think this has been nice, like to hear more and demystifying the whole lottery process, and especially those feel-good stories about some of those winners in the past.
Yes, I hope everybody gets to enjoy a great holiday and maybe it will come with a win.
Yes. All right. Well, happy holidays to you, and thanks again.